So hello guys, what's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, your girl barrister Neze, and this is Nezeville. Life is very deep, very deep. We all will not live long enough to experience everything by ourselves. So it is incumbent that through other people's stories and experiences, we keep learning and deriving life lessons that would shape our own decisions. In today's video, we will be having a very deep and sensitive discussion. We will be exposing the late Junior Pope, how he betrayed EDOCHIE, how he stabbed YUL in the back, how we have gotten to where we are now, and the whole story behind the saga. If you're new here, you're seeing my face for the first time, or if you've been watching without subscribing, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, drop all your comments in the comment section as the story unravels, and stay glued because we have so much more coming your way. You see, when YUL did what he did to his wife, the reaction he was expecting was not the reaction that he got. Recall that YUL had been sleeping with his colleague Judy for many years. She got pregnant, she bore him a child, and he was allegedly on his way back from this lady's hometown, where he went with his friends, not his family, where he went with some arrangee in-laws to go pay her bride price and marry her. He was on the way back from this event when a popular anonymous blogger spilled the tea on the internet, telling the world that YUL had gone to take another wife in Anambra State, codedly. When YUL saw that his best kept secret was out in the open, he quickly rushed to social media to announce the birth of his son and to announce that he had taken a second wife. Many sources close to May, many reliable sources close to his wife, have reported that May had no idea that her husband had a son, had welcomed a son with this same side chick that has always been wearing her head in her marriage, and that he had gone behind her back to pay the woman's bride price. It is reported that May, just as you and I, found out on social media what her husband had done. What her husband of almost 20 years, father of her 4 children, husband of her youth, husband of struggling days, husband that would constantly take to social media and heap accolades on her, how she is the best woman in the world, how he loves her to death, how she is the only one that stood by him in his little beginnings. When he doesn't have money, she was always there to help him to raise the children without complaining. She found out that this precious husband of hers had begun a brand new family with a strange woman there on social media. I do not fancy using the word narcissist loosely, but I am very tempted to believe that you might have a bad case of a narcissist personality disorder, because one of the major features of this disorder is the inability to empathize with others, coupled with an utter lack of capacity to feel remorse. You didn't feel like he had done anything bad at all. He wondered why May was overreacting. To YUL and Judy, it was about their life, their happiness, their wants. They did not care if people's souls or lives are crushed or damaged along the road. What mattered to them is, it is my life, regardless of what gets destroyed in the process. To them, what mattered is that it is their decision.
What nonsense! What nonsense, I'm asking? What rubbish? You people will come and tell me how to live my life? You tell me the decision to make for myself, something that I feel like, oh, this is what I want to do. Have you seen me dictating how you live your life for you? Have you seen me telling you do this or do that? What nonsense? Then you come to my page, or you go to Odogu's page to come and type nonsense. You wait for, I've had it. Did you hear me?
Okay. So you felt no single understanding of why May was hurt. He had come on social media severally to tell her, May Zukwanike. As in, May, rest now. What is it? You don't do for your body. Why are you blowing the thing out of proportion? All I did was take another man's wife, had some children with her. Add her children with that other husband, with the one she had for me, and add your own. Let all of us live peacefully in the Garden of Eden. What is wrong with that now? Why is it too hard? May, what is the matter? After all, I'm an African man. I've done everything right. Is it because of this small thing? He posted on social media that after all, he's an African man. He has done 99 things right. Is it because of this small one that she's behaving like this? He acted like what just happened was he forgetting to take out the trash at night. But May tried to make him understand that they were wedded in the church before the law, and they had sworn to God in a church to commit to a monogamous Catholic marriage. She was like, you, my dear husband, this was not the arrangement. This was not the plan, that you would go in and bring an akataka wine with children from other men, merge them with the ones you had with her, and then merged our children in this whole circle. This was not the kind of family we agreed to. His wife had suggested severally in her posts that she was willing to condone the adultery and even condone the child out of wedlock. She was willing to forgive, to accept the situation. But what she wasn't caught out for is to be forced into a polygamous marriage that she did not bargain for. But you said no. I want you as my wife, May. I want the other woman as my wife. I want the both of you. Deal with it. And then the lady picked up her shoes, gave it a dust, and took a walk. Now listen, there are several legal remedies that are open to May to take against YUL for his conduct, but May refused to pursue it. May's lawyer is easily accessible. Mr. Emeka of DPA, you can go on Facebook and check him out and read about this case. They are not hidden. The facts of the case are not hidden. May never sued or asked YUL to be sued for bigamy or all of that. Forget all those rumors in the blogs. May is not suing her husband for anything. Even when the lawyer insisted that these options are available, why don't we pursue them? May said no. She is not interested in anything suing her husband or pursuing any legal remedies against him. All she wanted was to leave the marriage for him and his side chick and get her peace and sanity. This was when their first son had died, and YUL's reaction shocked the whole world. That matter is in courts. We all know how YUL is almost frustrating the proceedings. One adjournment after the other, one excuse after the other, but it's fine. The divorce proceeding is in courts. That is not why we're here. So YUL EDOCHIE was very surprised at May's reaction. He was shocked at May's rejection of the arrangement he was trying to impose on her. It baffled him how she could stand her ground and say no. He didn't expect it at all. May is known to be a very quiet woman, a woman of few words, one that he perceived could easily be a pushover. She had tolerated his alleged gross infidelity with several actresses over the years, and she stayed quiet. She stayed mute. She had never bashed him. She had never granted any interview. She had never come out to cry out about any problems in her marriage. Even throughout the saga, she had never said anything. So how can that woman who is always mute, who seems like will be an easy push around, stand her ground so adamantly this way? His ego was bruised. He was surprised. He was the one that dished the betrayal, but he was the one feeling betrayed. But May's refusal to bend was not the only thing that surprised YUL. YUL was a respectable actor from a very respectable family with a very respectable father. He had a name that a lot of people honored and reverenced. So he was shocked at how the world, his colleagues, his friends, his family, everybody received the news of him deciding to marry his side chick. 99% of his colleagues subliminally condemned his actions, condemned the way he treated his wife, condemned the way he went about the whole thing, the way he demonstrated no emotional intelligence, the way he conducted himself with this other lady when his son passed, coming on the internet to dance a few days after, the way he called out and trolled his wife, whom he said was his backbone, his biggest support, always holding the family down while he goes around shooting from one location to the other. The way he turned around and came online and started slandering her, accusing her of surgery, accusing her of promiscuity. People were shocked. And gradually, his colleagues began distancing themselves from him. Brands stopped coming. His family, his own family, rebuked him in public. His friends frowned at him. No right-thinking person with a conscience, no right-thinking human being who truly worships God. I don't mean those that go to church and speak in tongues. They are two different things. No right-thinking person who knows God and has a decent appreciation of family structure, family values, supported the way YUL went about that whole incident, and they sure showed their disdain. Because of his attitude, people started withdrawing from him and showing support and solidarity to his wife. This, YUL believed, was betrayal. He was desperate for validation. He needed public figures and people, anybody at all, to tell him that what he did was not so bad after all. He needed the support. You would see him posting all kinds of human beings on their birthday, trying to scrape up acquaintances, trying to form alliances that do not exist, trying to seek validation for what he had done. He hated his wife's guts. He despised the effrontery his wife had built. And for him and this new lady, it was war. Camps were formed. It's either you pick us, YUL and Judy, or you pick her. You cannot be a friend to the both of us at the same time. We don't share. And anybody who dared to be warm, cordial, or supportive to May instantly became an enemy of Judy and YUL. It is her versus us. Choose her or choose us. When Sarah Martins, Judy's friend, came out to apologize to May for slandering her and telling lies about her, telling lies that she went to sleep with men in the UK, that it was Judy that told her to write those things. In fact, Judy would take her phone and type it and post. When Sarah confessed, oh my God, YUL and Judy were furious. They cut Sarah off, unfollowed her. When the comedian AY and his wife offered a hand to May when she was in the deep of depression, when her first son passed suddenly and mysteriously, May almost ran mad. Imagine the first child you shared with your husband going to school, wasn't sick and slumped and died, and you are seeing the boy's father on Facebook dancing with his side chick. She almost ran mad. When AY and his wife tried to pull her out of depression, encouraged her, invited her to their shows. Oh my God. YUL was furious. He cut AY off and came out openly to laugh at and mock AY when news of his marriage crash hit the internet. This is how they were fighting everybody that makes friends with me. Anyone that supports her, anyone that does as little as drop a comment on May's page. Oh my God, you will get it hot from the Chukwa love camps. Even his auntie Rita, who had stood solemnly in support of May, you had called her out on Instagram, saying that his auntie is using him to chase clouds. What about his brother Link EDOCHIE, who had stood solemnly behind May, attending her functions and showing his support and encouragement? You cut off his brother Link. He would celebrate every other person's birthday, but on Link's birthday, he would make sure that he does not post or celebrate him. But guess what? People were not deterred. May makes a post. Go to the comment section, you see loads of support and encouragement. All the celebrities, public figures, actors and actresses on May's page encouraging her. But if you take a short drive to the page of Judy or YUL EDOCHIE, insults, abuses, curses, mocking, taunting. The lady that he had broken and served her an unexpected surprise was thriving and getting better with every passing day. Overwhelmed with loads of endorsements and jobs and events, making her money, growing and getting better with every passing day, while he and this strange woman were jumping from one career after the other.
Your week is blessed.
Amen.
Your week is blessed in
Amen.
Jesus' name.
Amen.
To all members of True Salvation Ministry, anything you lay your hands on, it will prosper.
It's blessed.
Anything you lay your hands on is blessed. As long as you free your heart of hate, of envy,
Yes.
of anger. Anything you lay your hands on, my
It's
Lord, our Lord Jesus Christ will bless the works of your hands in
Amen.
Jesus' mighty name we've prayed.
Amen.
Thank you, thank you, thank
Bye.
you.
We love you guys.
Nothing working. From movie production to politics tomorrow, real estate next tomorrow, buying and selling, business registration, pastor, church open tomorrow. Nothing was working. He could not believe his eyes. Junior Pope, during his lifetime, was known to YUL. Let me just call him a friend of the EDOCHIE family. When YUL lost Kambili, Junior Pope was one of the few celebrities, one of the few of his colleagues that came out to mourn that child publicly. He cancelled his engagements to mourn the child of YUL EDOCHIE. Watch this.
Yo, Swag Nation. My new content was supposed to drop today on my page, but I'm very sorry to disappoint you guys because we are mourning. Yes, we are mourning the death of our colleague's son. He passed, and I've been speechless. I've not been myself. So I'm very sorry, and we are all perplexed. We are surprised, asking questions, but we do not question God. Today is not a good day at all. Yeah, it's not a good day. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to say. I've been speechless since morning, and I've not been myself. When I heard the news, I couldn't stand properly. No parent deserves this.
Did you hear what he said? He said, my colleague's child. Meaning that act was an act of love and respect to YUL, not to me, because it is YUL who is his colleague, not me. Okay. So when this rift between YUL and me kept on getting bad and deteriorating, Junior Pope, who is a deep family man to the core, if you know that man, if you could respect that man for one thing, you would know that that man is a deep family man. He said that his father was very strict and that he didn't want to create that environment for his children. He was his children's and his wife's best friend. A man who cherishes his wife like an egg. A man who loved his children with his life, with every fiber of being in him. A man who held his family very dear to his heart. So such a man naturally couldn't understand, couldn't support what YUL was doing to his own family. He couldn't relate to a father who would come on social media to dance with the side chick few weeks after his first son died. He saw May dying of pains, and he unabashedly lent her his support. He gave her words of encouragement. He would constantly drop comments on her posts. He would celebrate her on her birthday.
The strong woman was born today. Happy birthday to you, May. Wishing you God's perpetual blessings, protections, and joy, unending joy and happiness. Continue to be strong, girl. Happy birthday. You too much. Swag.
And boy, was YUL upset. This, my dear brothers and sisters, was the offense that JP committed to YUL. This was the betrayal of JP for daring to choose to be cordial with the woman that he betrayed and disgraced. YUL cut JP off, hated him so much, and made him an enemy. When the tragedy that struck, and given the sad, shocking and sudden way it did, yes, we knew that YUL's behavior in recent years had been unbecoming, but we were not prepared. We were not expecting YUL's reaction to the death of this young man. YUL took to Instagram to throw shades at the late Junior Pope. He said, never push for another man's downfall. Never say or do anything to instigate it. If your fellow man has issues, if you can't be of help, shut up. You must not have an opinion in everyone's life. Mind your business, because karma is real. What goes around comes around. Your own breakfast might be served very cold. And he captioned it, updates. You see why I am very tempted to believe that he has a disorder of narcissism. He is talking about karma to another person, and he does not even have any inkling that he did something wrong deserving of karma himself. So that was a shade to Junior Pope, obviously, because this was made when Junior Pope just passed and the whole world was thrown into mourning. Junior Pope's colleagues were posting and crying and begging and praying, hoping that it was a lie. And when the video of Junior Pope's corpse was posted online, YUL EDOCHIE didn't say any words to grief, not even a rest in peace, not even keeping quiet. He went ahead to make this post. And as though that was not enough, a few days ago, he took to his Instagram page to let out a dragon. He said this: "I didn't want to say anything till after his burial. I know many people asked why I wasn't there, why I haven't said anything about it since. I took him like a brother and a good friend. I was there for him when he needed me, but he stabbed me in the back repeatedly. That's life. I would drop the full details soon so others can learn from it. Be careful what you wish people, it could come back to you." So there was YUL suggesting that Junior Pope's death was his karma for not supporting him on how he rubbished and disgraced and treated his wife, for daring to give words of encouragement to his wife. To him, karma had met Junior Pope. Well, if that didn't shock you, perhaps this one will. Because only a few hours after YUL made this slanderous, insensitive, wicked post, he immediately advertised his movie with Judy Austin. All he wanted was to generate traffic to his page, was to use the death of Junior Pope to trend, to drive engagement and visibility so he could advertise that movie, and then he told people to go on YouTube to watch the movie. It was all a plot. To a narcissist, the world revolves around him. Nothing else matters. He has to be the center of attention. When he was done achieving whatever he wanted to achieve, of course it wasn't a new tactic. He did the same thing when his own child passed. He did the same thing when he wanted to flag off this church. The first topic, the first sermon he preached in the church was what was titled, "What God Told Me When My Son Passed," just to bring in the views, to make money off the deaths. And you wonder what has become of this man who we grew to love so much, who we grew to hold in such high esteem. What has happened to this man? You see, the Bible did not call these kinds of women strange women by accident. When they come into a man's life, he begins to act strangely. Some people may attach it to spiritual implications. Oh, he's in a bottle, she has locked him. Oh, that is the spiritual implication of being yoked sexually with some people with some kinds of spirits. They may not be wrong, but I would even choose to address this physically. You see, there are physical implications of being joined with some persons, either in friendships or in marriage. There are physical implications of being joined with the wrong people. Their personalities, their perception of life, their principles inadvertently reflects on you. If you're a married person, you would agree that there are some things that you have learned or picked from your spouse. So if your spouse is a bad person or an inconsiderate person, with long years of living with that person, with time spent interacting with that person, you would find yourself behaving like that person, sharing the same principles on some subjects. You would find yourself picking their behaviors. And now YUL is here, displaying the height of a vengeful spirit and a complete lack of conscience. Another way that you can be physically affected by being yoked with the wrong person is that you miss out on the good advice that would come from a good person. If you're a married man here, you would agree that there's some decisions that you would want to make. There's some things, there's some actions you want to take that your wife would hold you and say, "Baby, don't do it. Don't say such thing. It's okay. Leave it. Forgive." Even if you shout, you hear, "For what?" Later in your quiet time, you would think about what your wife told you, the advice your wife gave you, and it will check your behavior. That is why men who are married to good or sensible women, it shows in their outward behavior sometimes, especially when they listen to their wives. Because you would always have that woman checking you giving you good advice that would protect your image. And in the long run, even if you try to have strong head, you will be grateful for some of her advices that you implemented. It's obvious that this man now lacks it. We saw how packaged he was when he had a woman who could help him hagier his life, who could help him filter his utterances, who could package him and conceal irrationality while projecting a perfect odugu. But now that that person has left, some people might call it spiritual grace, some people might attach it to spiritual, but it is a physical thing that you can see. When that person that gives you good counseling and good advice has left, is no longer with you, it will reflect in your behaviors. And that is exactly what is going on with YUL EDOCHIE. Let us be very careful with the choices that we make. Every choice has its own consequences. You cannot have your bread buttered on both sides. Every choice we make as human beings must have an overall bearing in the way our life turns out. May God continue to give us the wisdom to make the right choices. Do share your thoughts, your comments, your opinion, your feelings down in the comment section. So guys, yes, we have come to the end of today's video. If you're new here, you're seeing me for the first time, or if you've been watching without subscribing, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, drop all your comments down in the comment section, and stay glued because we have so much more coming your way. It's me, your girl Barrister Neze, and this is Nezeville. I'll see you guys in my next one. For now,